It's to help us all understand our body a little better, help you discover what your body might be asking for support, because vibrant health and glowing is an inside job. Knowing how to listen to your body, where your body wants love is the first step. And if you got the guts, let's get started. All right. Oh, here we go. So yeah, like I said, my journey of learning common health patterns showed me that most disease does start in the gut, just like Hippocrates said, right? Health isn't about perfection, it's about paying attention. And the gut quiz is not a diagnosis. It's to help you listen to your guts. Listen to your gut. So as we get started here, so the Gutsy Glow Challenge, it's about finding your gut type. I have this little free gut type quiz, so go ahead and do that. It takes I got all the results in too. If you guys want to see your results, what you answered and everything, I end up getting it on my end, and I see that nobody else gets it. But you can see, what kind of type you are. Normally, most people are mixed types, and then I send you your holistic herbal health blueprint based on those common patterns that I've seen in my practice. So that's what it's based on. This quiz this has been a long time coming. I've been working on this for over a year, actually, this quiz. I just love the idea of doing these fun little quizzes. It's only 11 questions. And then you get to learn about all the 4 gut types, which one you are. Most people are mixed is what I've seen so far. There's been about 4 coming in, and I'll get back. If you guys are filling out, I would go ahead and fill out your gut quiz while you're listening to this or at the end, and then I'll get back to you with your health blueprint and some more steps. But here we go. We're going to learn about the steps right here. So summer glow is from within, right? As we know. And what is, it says challenge, right? Summer Gutsy Glow Challenge. So glow comes from the gut. It comes from within. The challenge is take the gut type quiz. See where discover more about your gut type. Like answering those questions, you're listening to your body, you're understanding, you're paying attention, and that's what your body wants and needs for healing. And then you learn about your herbal blueprint, because I do recommend a lot of the gut types are based on, which body system. And then I recommend all the different herbs that go with it. It is a recommended kit that I offer if you want. If not, the information is there. You can go find those herbs, literally go find them in your sidewalk cracks and, make some medicine. I mean, that's another thing, teaching how to make medicine. I hopefully have some classes soon. And then do something about it, right? So go find, I have a lot of lifestyle recommendations. With every kit comes with a nourishing detox guide that has recipes and the core 4, sleep, drink water, exercise, move your body, and don't stress as much. Easier said than done. There's herbs for that, guys. So knowledge without action changes nothing, guys. So we need to, if you've got the guts, let's get gutsy and let's start changing something. Am I right? So why did I create this quiz? Like I said, 20 years of helping people, and I just wanted to put it into, because I saw patterns. It was always the same. It seemed like the majority of people that would come through had gut issues. They had stress issues. Those are the 2 main concerns. Liver came up, but liver and digestion are completely connected. People describe they had low energy. So I would go and, find the patterns within that. And as they talk to me, obviously they would start listening to their body. I realize this. There we go. Hormones, the liver is a big part of that. So it's just making those connections, making those, listening to those patterns. Iridology definitely helped a lot when I was doing my practice. That's what I used as an assessment reading tool to look into the body, obviously asking questions, intake form. And so that's what that quiz can be about too. But iridology can go deeper. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a bit. But yeah, those are the main common 4 gut types I have always seen in my practice. And that's why I made the quiz. Another reason, I do recommend a lot of detox. I just finished off a spring reset. I call it detox, but really it's a reset. And there was some people that did have some reactions, which that's, when people hear of detox, they think of reactions in the bathroom, right? And so, if anything, most people had very good experiences because my biggest thing with the reset and any detox program I start, I recommend drainage before detox, which we're going to talk a little bit about here. And I go over that, pardon me, in my Nourishing Detox Guide, along with all those basic healthy lifestyle steps that we all know to do. So, I hope I go over a few creative ideas on how to integrate them and to just, start slow, relax. Start slow and take the low dose. So the modern world is kind of working against us, right? The world of convenience. I get it. It's convenient. And we're busy trying to pay our bills. And, so because of this capitalistic world we are swimming in plastics, which become hormone disruptors. The air pollution contributes to that. The water is contaminated, even though Edmonton's like one of the most pure water in Canada, I've actually read, because we have I live right by the Gold Bar water purification plant. Doesn't smell very good down there, guys. And we've tested, working at Optimum Health Vitamins, we did many tests in water. And actually, a lot of contaminants were birth control pills, guys. Talk about hormone disruptors in your pure Edmonton water, right? And high blood pressure medication. So trace amounts of the medication that's coming from the Edmontonians that are taking the medication. If that doesn't gross you out, I don't know, it grosses me out. So that's why I recommend these detox kits, but they're not really detox. There's a lot of binders in there. The herbs have that wisdom to help your detoxification organ system, the filtering of the body, do its own job. And everything is very gentle. That's why I stopped calling them detox kits, as you probably, if you've been following along since 2010. This is a bit of a shift and a transition because I've always talked about it's nourishing your detoxification organ systems. I don't recommend purges unless you do all the drainage first and get all those lifestyle things in order. I've done many detox cleanse groups and I've walked people through it and they can be very uncomfortable. So trying to avoid that. And through that experience, this is how it's transitioned. A lot of foods now, especially in the Western world, there's this whole thing about the World Cup now. Norway shipped in a whole bunch of their real food. They got cottage cheese, salmon from Norway shipped in because they all refused. The Norway soccer team refused to eat American food because it's overly processed. There's artificial ingredients. There's more artificial ingredients in American processed foods than there is in Europe because Europe has more standards. There's this whole thing, Food Babe on Instagram you can read about. She always compares the labels. It's unbelievable. So the modern world is working against us. And there's a lot of stress to make ends meet, right? It's very expensive living in Canada. And then we have the sedentary lifestyles because we have to work the office job to pay the bills, right? So all those things really work against our body. And so we need to do things to work for our body, to advocate our natural healing and health. So no wonder our bodies need support, right? With all that going on in this, really convenient world, which is great. Moving to the farm, I realized I'm like, oh, the city is actually really convenient. And it's a transition. I've done it before though, so I'll do it again. Anywho, so the whole philosophy is drainage before detox. So you don't have any uncomfortable experiences. Eat your ferments, eat your herbs, do all the basic lifestyle, and then do a purge, then do a fast. Unless you got the guts, you want to take the risk. But I definitely recommend starting slowly just to, love your body. And it's summertime. We don't want to be sweating it out, purging it out, do we? We're already sweating it out outside. So it's just supporting. It's about supporting. Before we detox, definitely think about, drainage. Before we cleanse, make sure you're nourishing. Herbs are so nourishing. Ferments are so nourishing. There's a book actually called The Nourishing Traditions, which is it's like a recipe book, and it talks about ancestral nutrition and what our ancestors did before disease basically took over the modern day world. So yeah, definitely look into nourishment. And that's what we're here today to educate. Before we restrict, we want to support. So, don't punish your body. Detox is not supposed to be a punishment. It's supposed to be a time of rest and balance, finding balance. Listen, it's a great time to listen to your body because your body talks very loudly when you're doing detoxes. And detox is helping your body do what it already knows how to do. Let's cut off there. But, we have 5 or 6, if you include the lymphatic system, detoxification systems. And they know how to do best as long as they're not completely overrun by the, modern day conveniences and toxins. So all these, a part of the challenge and the quiz, if you take the quiz, you're going to get a kit. You're going to get redirected to my website where I have the 4 different gut types broken down into 4 different kits. And each kit is a 14-day starter reset, but it's a very gentle reset. I mean, it's as gentle as you want it to. If you start taking a lot of these, like the fiber, for example, and your body's not used to fiber, or ferments, for example, and your body's not used to ferments, it won't be gentle. So you got to be a little gutsy taking these, but you just got to start slow and just start listening to your body. And then if your body starts responding or reacting, taper down, go even slower. And then you really know what your body wants, right? So the kits are made up of basically 4 components here. There's the herbal support, which is herbalist made by me. I've foraged most of the herbs, actually all of the herbs in the bitter blend. The gut blend, there's a few that are foraged by me. The stress blend, many of those, or the summer calm. I'm trying to be positive in all the titles. And then the liver love is the bitters. What's the other one? Lymph flow. Yes, a lot of lymphatic herbs grow wild all over the Alberta prairies. So up at the farm in Westlaw County, where I'm going to move with my dad, that's like where I get most of my bitter herbs from, and the lymphatic drainage herbs like cleavers grows everywhere. It's amazing. But we're going to go over the herbs right away here. Fermented food and drinks made by me, or I have a lot of tutorials, and I just saw, thank you, who took my class. Oh, that's not Leslie. Okay, cool. She took the class at Wild Roses last year. I did a fermentation class on sauerkraut. So interested in doing all this for myself. Really need help with bloating, water retention. Excited for this podcast. Thank you. That's awesome. I'm going to call you Manifesting. That's your name of your email. So that's great to hear. That was last year in July. I was at the Wild Roses Festival. That was amazing. I have no time to do any festivals or workshops or even markets this summer because I'm moving to the farm. But that's okay. That's why we're doing this. So doing more automated online stuff. And then I'm going to do so many markets this fall. If I get my shit taken, get my guts together. Okay. So yeah, fermented food and drinks. You can make them yourself. I have a ton of workshops online and my YouTube channel. If you guys want to go explore, I have a little playlist with all the workshops. I don't have a sauerkraut workshop online yet, but coming soon. But lots of the other ones. Sauerkraut's a bit more intensive than like pickles or beet kvass, easiest one. Water kefir, probiotic pops, delicious and easy to make. I also have the starters for that, the SCOBY. Anyways, so the other part is the fiber blend. It's a prebiotic fiber binder blend. That's a mouthful because it is loaded. It's amazing. That's one of my favorite blends I've been working on forever. Most herbal kits I've seen don't put a binder in there, which is crazy. I don't know why they don't do that. So it really helps to take away those uncomfortable kind of die-off effects, it's called, where, you're detoxing cellularly, and the body is trying to get like fat cells is where, all your toxins will come in. Yay, Sharon loves making beet kvass. And so when those are being released, all those toxins are being released, they go out the bowel. And if you don't have a nice binder, they'll reabsorb and make you feel even sicker. And actually, they're even more volatile and more toxic. So if you start doing some kind of, like even just taking ferments in fermented foods, there is natural prebiotic fiber. Prebiotic is just basically starches, fiber, sugars that help to feed the probiotic, the bacteria, the beneficial bacteria in your body. So in my prebiotic fiber blend, I do have whole herb extracts. So it's the whole herb that have been extracted and then powdered, and then the binder part is the clay. It's a bentonite clay and a zeolite clay. So both of them have this charge. They will not let reabsorption happen. They keep the colon so charged with basically just they zap the parasites. They will neutralize any of those toxins and make sure that they're kind of like this little backpack. They carry them out of the body. That's how I was described by one of my teachers in Herbal College. It's like the backpack. There's backpack herbs. Binders are the same way. They make sure that they escort things out. And then this fiber blend is called Colon Sweep. And it literally helps to sweep your colon, bind with those toxins. And there is a very gentle laxative that's very nourishing. It's called Triphala, if anybody's heard of it. It's a 3 herb combo. Amla berry is one of them. So it has a lot of vitamin C to offer, which just offers that oxygen, healthy antioxidant, as they call it. So oxygen giving environment. So everything's healthy and can grow and glow from the inside out. The fourth component, which I've talked about a few times now, is the Nourishing Detox Guide. And there's recipes in there, my favorite detox recipes. Some of them are like bath recipes. Some of them are ones that are lymphatic, herbal recipe, a tea recipe. And the detox guide is the health empowerment. So it goes over the core 4, the healthy lifestyle basics. And it's just simple. Like, it's all the stuff we already know, but it just goes over it in hopefully a different way. So the mother of all repetition is the mother of all of education. So I hopefully offer a new perspective and make it simple to, really make sure, like, everybody's like, oh, what's going on? Well, are you sleeping? Are you drinking good water? Those 2 things, most people just kind of forget, but those are so important, very important. So yeah, so there's the kit, the whole kit and caboodle. So let's talk more about fiber. I just kind of did, but here we go. I just love this fiber blend. The benefits are, it's a prebiotic. So like I said, any fiber, this is a herbal, wild herbal, organic, sourced herbs. And so those fibers in those herbs are going to feed the beneficial bacteria. This fiber blend, in any fiber, supports elimination. It's like a workout for your gut. So like, I'm sure you've heard like of Metamucil or Psyllium, where they expand like 20 times their size. So you make sure you drink water or else it becomes a cork. So you want the elimination, you don't want the cork. And what it does is it's like a weightlifting for your gut. So it expands and like literally gives your gut like a bit of a contraction and relaxation effect. And it'll help to open up, like if there's diverticulitis, it kind of expands it, opens it up, and then hopefully smooths it out with the other, like especially Triphala, which is a great vitamin C, helps the collagen integrity. And then hopefully you're, consuming things that have like peptides and proteins and stuff like that, right? Bone broth's a good one. And so I talk about my Nourishing Detox Guide, a lot about protein, the combination. Actually, we're going to go over here right away, the magical combinations for metabolism. Butyric acid or butyrate. I don't know if you've heard of that, but that's one of the most common things that help to rebuild gut. So for IBS, Crohn's, butyrate is recommended. You can get it in capsule. It's so expensive in capsule. Guess what does it? Good fibers, prebiotic fibers. Fiber is supposed to be the new it girl of the health industry this year. Last year it was ferments. Now it's fiber, apparently, guys. So fermented food actually has a lot of fiber. So it's always winning. The fiber supports blood sugar balance because it slows the sugar load when you're eating it. So including fiber with all your foods, fruits and vegetables, obviously, will slow down any sugar if you're having a treat. There's a little, cravings and cheat sheet. Treat cheat sheet. Hey, there's my next quiz. Supports metabolism because it helps. So the sugar's not like intensely bombarding your system, which shuts down insulin production and sensitivity to the cells. So your metabolism gets wrecked. Like once you get blood sugar issues, diabetes, that's when your metabolism slows down. So fiber helps to increase that. Also protein. It also helps remove waste, like I said. So it kind of, like I said, zaps those toxins and that waste. So it can be swept out of the colon. Look at that. I just want to say, look at that beautiful picture. There's the amla berry. You can see my little arrow up in the top right. That's from the trifala, all the herbs. There's Irish moss in this new blend. I'm going to go over that actually quite. Oh, here it is. Look, I'm going over it right now. So why do I recommend the binder blend? I talked about that. Make sure if you're doing any kind of new natural health journey sort of thing, I would include binders like zeolite clay, even just getting zeolite clay. The one I use it's very expensive and it's very active. It's like one of the best on the market. It's been tested. It has like literally an ionic charge. So that charge will zap that waste and not let it reabsorb. It zaps parasites. Bentonite clay, one of the best binding clays out there. Zeolite also gives back minerals. So bentonite does pull and it can expand a little bit, not as much as psyllium. And I don't put psyllium in my blend just because I feel like it's a bit harsh. We're just working on gentle zapping, gentle gut health. Activated charcoal, as everybody I'm sure has heard of, another zapper. It actually literally will pull things out of your body if you're having food poisoning as an extreme example. First thing you go for is charcoal. And so I have that in there, the activated charcoal. Trifala is that laxative. In the blend, there is the Herbal prebiotic fibers. So there's a whole bunch of them. Actually, I have it right here. And that's your 14-day if you get my kit. And I recommend Irish moss, which is very similar to that is it sea moss? Oh, geez. I've never actually tried sea moss, but Irish moss has been, used by herbalists for a long time. It's very traditional food for like more energy and a colon health, keeping you regular. It's a great fiber and very nutritive. There's sheep sorrel, nettle, the organic kelp's in there, watercress, mullein, another pulling herb, one of my favorites. I grow it I'm moving out of the city soon, but I grow it in my yard. It kind of grows itself, actually. It's so wild. It's a ditchweed, but it is magically nourishing. Parsley, and then the trifala. And I also add diatomaceous earth, just a little bit. And you're only taking a tiny bit of this. It's so powerful, you only need a little bit. So actually on the recommendation, it's a 1/4 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon. So I recommend definitely starting at 1/4 teaspoon. I've had so many people respond with the biggest bowel movements they've ever had in their life. So, and too much energy because it's so nourishing. I'm like, okay, too much energy, come on. But that's what they're saying. So yeah, so like we said, supports minerals, supports the microbiome. You got your prebiotics for your probiotics. Start low and go slow. And anyone using Synthroid, because of the kelp in here, just want to be careful. Synthroid is basically iodine. And then we're getting more iodine from sea vegetables. So just one of those kind of contraindications potentially. All right, so the next one is, I'm just going over the kit sort of thing, or even just your magical combination. You don't have to buy my kits. And even especially if you're in the States or around the world, like I do ship in Canada, but I don't ship ferments in Canada because they're too live and wild. They're wild ferments. So I recommend making your own. I have little DIY kits and stuff like that. So traditional ferments, the ones you made traditionally, the ones our great grandma used to make, I make all mine in the crock, or you can do, your scobies. What's the difference between a traditional ferment and kombucha on the shelf? Well, kombucha on the shelf is a synthetically, they have a synthetic culture that they start from. So it's not wild. It's not, so traditionally they would, you'd be brewing things right in your home. It would be responding to the environment. Literally, the bacteria and yeast that you're growing in your ferments will respond to the environment and make an immune tonic for you. Basically base it on the environment that you're living in and build the immunity. There's probably a better word for that, but you know what I mean? Like the immune. It works with your immune system basically, because your immune system responds to your environment. So ferments are usually the missing link. Obviously, this is one of my favorite things to talk about. Ferments increase your microbial diversity. So we're more microbe than we are human. Did you guys know that stat? So we have about 1 trillion cells that make us human, right? Our skin cells are the ones you can see. And then inside our body systems, each one has a cell. And there's 1 trillion. There's about 11 trillion microbes that live in us and around us. And without them, we couldn't survive. Also on the planet too. If there was no microbes, plants wouldn't survive. So a lot of organisms need these microbes for survival. Obviously, ferments support digestion. You get the probiotics, you get enzymes. It's like a live, raw, living food. So lots of digestive, throw your digestive enzymes away, throw your probiotic pills away, and your nutrient absorption and just the actual nutrients from ferments are tenfold from the original vegetable or fruit that you started fermenting with. So throw your multivitamin away. You don't need it anymore. You can save so much money from a head of cabbage and making sauerkraut or beets and beet kvass, the easiest thing. Right, Sharon? Yeah. And then that butyrate again, that is improved by ferments. So again, for any kind of deep gut healing, not that we're diagnosing, but if you do have a diagnosis and you're working with a naturopath or a doctor, ferments are pretty basic. They're a food, but that will help to throw away those expensive pills and just eat your ferments. Support your healthy blood sugar response. So probiotics work with, they literally eat sugar in your gut. So they don't get to your bloodstream and they don't bombard your insulin system, right? Your pancreas. They help to support all that. Lower inflammation. Lots of studies on that. Even probiotics with allergies. We used to write Optimum Health, my clinical days of 20 years, we used to recommend high dose. There's lots of natural anti-inflammatories, high dose probiotic pills. We'd get results. We wouldn't get results. There are so many probiotics available. The expensive ones got the results. But guess what else got the results and got me into Herbal Mama? Fermented foods and drinks. I was astounded. I was my friends, my clients at the time, I called them clients, would start getting results. That's my ferment business found me. Ferments found me, and the results spoke for themselves, sort of thing. So this is cute. I prefer to count cultures, not calories, for vibrant health. Yeah. So why herbs? Why are herbs a part of my little Gutsy glow kits? Well, obviously, I have a bias. I'm a herbalist. I love herbs. For thousands of years, though, herbs have been used to gently support the body. I love the gentle support. It's very loving. It's an ongoing thing. I feel like herbs are a missing food group, just like ferments. Ferments are like the condiments. They used to be the natural condiments before pasteurization, long thousands of years before pasteurization was even discovered, sort of thing, right? But herbs, same thing, thousands of years. That was the original healing. A lot of drugs are based on herbal extracts, right? They don't force the body. They nourish it. And so that's the ticket. Our body has the wisdom. We just need to nourish it and give it all the right parts and pieces, right? So they remind our body what we're designed to do. Every plant, every food, which, most plant-based foods, they have over 10,000 plant phytonutrients, it's called. So plant nutrients. So think about all that design, all that messaging, all that communication with your body. Like that's beyond what you're going to get in a multivitamin. Herbs are the ancestral traditional multivitamin that we've been using for thousands of years before modern day disease. Make that connection, right? And so that's why I group the glow kits based on, like, a lot of them are this, they all have the fiber blend, which is the same. They all have a ferment. There's a little different, but ferments, and then the basic lifestyle, the detox guide, the nourishing detox guide. But every kit has a different herbal blend based on that body system. So, because those herbs are the messengers for specific body systems. And whatever body system is asking for more love, that's what you find out in the detox, in the quiz. What's it called? It's called a quiz. So I'm going to go over those again. The 4 different kits. If you've done your quiz, actually everybody that came back so far, there's been 4 responses. They were all mixed. So they had 2 different kits that came up. And that's the thing, is like, it's discovering your body. Hopefully it doesn't overwhelm you and you get the blueprint. And that's what I discuss in there. Like, don't let this overwhelm you. Let this show you what your body's asking for. And so just use your intuition, use your own gut instinct, and start somewhere. Start with some herb. Start with one herb that's listed in all, in, like, if liver love came up as your main one, start with, bitters. You need bitters probably. And I would also recommend ferments. But so liver love is about healthy digestion, the bile flow, nutrient absorption, and liver function, obviously. But everything bitter is good for the liver. That's kind of a nice little rhyme, sort of, traditional herbal wisdom. And so anything that tastes bitter, as soon as you taste bitter, it's literally a signal to the liver. Isn't that amazing? Like, how simple is that? So we want to taste that bitter, and then that will engage with the liver and start the bile flow. And that helps with especially fat assimilation and digestion. The next one is Summer Calm and Glow, and that's adaptogenic herbs. So what are adaptogenic herbs? They help the body to adapt, literally help your body to adapt. So that's the adapting system. The brain, the pituitary, hypothalamus, the adrenals play a role, the thyroid plays a role. It's the endocrine system, right? So the adaptogenic herbs support that system. The brain, hormone connection, endocrine system is what basically it's called. And it'll help with emotional stress. As soon as you feel stress, that's your brain signaling a bunch of hormones, stress hormones, to be released. And then that can affect hormone balance. That can affect, your cortisol is really high. So you're in fight or flight most of the time. So if you want to get back into like a, calmer, nervous state, you'll have a happier gut. Your body cannot digest when you're in fight or flight. Fight or flight, you're running away from a tiger or a bear. And in our modern crazy world, there's another toxic modern effect on our body is we're always kind of in survival, right? And our bodies do not digest when we're in survival. It's all in our energies in our brain, our hands to like fight, and our legs to run away, right? So when you have calmer nerves and support the gut-brain connection, you get more healthy energy and better digestion and a happier gut. So the other 2 from the 4 gut types, and then my kits. We have the Lymph Flow and Summer Glow. And again, this is cleavers and red clover, things you find wild in the forest, in the ditch. So just go out of the city, guys, and there is medicine, free medicine everywhere. So, wild herbs, ditch weeds, they've been traditionally used to support lymphatic drainage, which your lymph system is basically your immune system. It's the waste disposal system. it's, when you're going to clear up an infection or an injury site, the lymphatic system is the cleanup crew that works with all the immune cells and system, right? And so moving your body helps to move your lymph. And then also these herbs, hydration really helps, increasing circulation. So there's many things to do that, which movement is a big one. And there's a lot of herbs that help to increase the circulatory pump that goes through your body. But the best thing to do is move your body and make sure you're hydrated. The fascia, this whole new talk about like somatic healing and healing your fascia, because emotions can get stuck in certain areas. So hydration is a big part of that, moving your body, keeping the flow. And then these herbs will gently help to kind of give your body the message that it's safe to open up. And I mean, maybe you're not safe until you get the summer calm and you get the nervous system kind of regulated. So it's very common that I would see stress and lymphatic congestion in the same eye. So there's a mixed type right there. So take the quiz and see where you're at. Next one, gut flow and summer glow. So the two main herbs in that are berberine-based herb. It's actually a whole herb called barberry. Feel like you could be three. I know. I feel like I'm all four. Totally. I know. So I do take a lot of herbs. So I'm pretty much doing all four kits every day. And then all the recommendations. It's, it takes a lot to be a natural, preventative, sustainable, healer of myself sort of thing, of ourselves. So berberine is an extract. Comes from a few different herbs, like golden seal. I'm sure everybody's heard of that. It's a very popular herb. Barberry is in this blend. And so berberine is just one of the phytonutrients, like I was talking about, 10,000 phytonutrients, but this one's getting buzzword. Like on the next slide, I think I talk about the buzz of, natural GLP-1 stimulators kind of thing. So Ozempic, right? Berberine is probably one of the most recommended. There's a few others, moringa, but these herbs really help with blood sugar balance. Berberine helps to heal and seal the gut, keep the blood sugar balanced so you don't have inflammation in the gut, which creates a lot of disease. Like you don't want to create inflammation. Your body will injure itself or get stressed and has enough inflammation to deal with. You know what I mean? So don't consume toxic compounds or you'll have to take a lot of berberine to kind of help to come and put out the fire, basically. And licorice, again, puts out the fire in an inflamed gut. Licorice also has a lot of, it's called a mucilage demulcent herb. So it helps with the mucous membranes, basically. So a healthy coating, a nice hydrated, healthy coating. So you don't have a dry, inflamed, red, raw gut. Which will create leaky gut, right? Creates like lots of cracks and craters, like you have this like desert gut. Licorice will go and soothe and create like a nice lining of friendly, mucus, and really good for balancing blood sugar as well. So these are all used to support the microbial balance. They're, again, the barberry is a whole herb, so there's lots of fiber in there, plus the berberine effect. Blood sugar balancing, healthy digestion, gut lining integrity, and reducing inflammation. So heal and seal the gut, build the foundation. So that's, if gut flow came up, that's what you need. And those are the herbs to help it. So I wanted to get into, I only got into a couple more kits a little bit more deeply. But the gut flow type, like I talked about, so it's all these common signs. You're going to possibly, if you're answering the quiz, bloating comes up. Oh, it signals that's, you need the gut flow type and you need these certain herbs. So food sensitivities, cravings, blood sugar swings, maybe weight gain, leaky gut symptoms. So the herbs are, like I talked about, barberry, berberine's in there. White pine is also in there, which is just a beautiful, like vitamin C, oxygenation. It will help to reduce parasites or any kind of microbial imbalance. So it could be like, candida is a buzzword, or SIBO, stuff like that. Not that I'm diagnosing, but if those are your diagnosis, then these herbs are very specific in the natural realm. And then licorice, again, like I talked about. So it's about healing the gut, sealing the foundation, heal and seal. The featured ferment in this one, I recommend pickles and pickle juice because very hydrating. Dill is like the natural colic reducer. There is garlic in there. Some people, if they're doing some extreme gut eliminations, they recommend to eliminate garlic. It can be pretty intense, but I recommend pickles because of hydration. Why berberine? Let's just drive this home, hey guys. So berberine-rich herbs have been used to support digestion, healthy blood sugar balance, microbial balance, and metabolism. So combined with fiber, fermented foods, and protein-rich meals, they will create an environment that supports the body's natural production of, feeling satiated. So you actually have hormones that create, I can't even say that word, satiation. You're satisfied, you're satiated. And GLP-1 is one of them. And that's the one that, you can get those injections. Ozempic is part of that. But the goal with herbs is not to suppress the body. With these drugs, they give your body such a specific signal, it suppresses the body's natural function. So I recommend go the other way. You do all the natural things to express the body's natural ability to regulate itself. Doesn't that make sense? I think it makes sense. But GLP-1 can start in the gut. This is the latest trend, and that's why I'm going over it. And that's kind of like, like I was saying, I've seen a lot of people, they want that latest supplement, latest diet, newest trend, easy injection, one pill does it all. It's not like that, guys. I'm sorry. But these are actually simple ways to do it. It's a bit of it's a formula, right? So it will help to make you feel fuller, just like the GLP-1, reduce cravings, help support healthy blood sugar, slow gastric emptying. So you just feel more satisfied, and supports metabolism. So we want the fiber to feed the microbes. We want the ferments for the gut resilience. The protein has those peptides, right? Protein is where peptides, they build protein, amino acids. Triggers the hormones that make you satiated, stabilizes blood sugar. Berberine-rich herbs will help to also give you that blood sugar support, so you're not so hungry. So if you are craving so many foods and it's out of control, you have a lot of late night cravings, that berberine-rich herb will help with that too. But also the fiber, the ferments, the proteins work together, and that will give you more of kind of an equal amount to compare to those drugs, but it's still going to be slower. It's way slower. This is a big picture, right? And it's more sustainable. So there's no side effects. If you're going to have side effects, you're going to notice right away. And the side effects will just be, maybe a little bit of a detox, maybe a little bit of detox is awareness. It's like, oh my gosh, really, I needed some fiber. My body really needed that sort of thing. So that's in the gut flow type. If she was purchased a gut flow type, specific pickup times, live a couple hours away from Edmonton, rather pick up so I can get the ferments. Yeah, for sure. I have until the end of July, because I'm moving to the farm. I'm moving up to Westlock, but I'm gonna have a pickup location, in Edmonton. So, but for now, yes, just give me a heads up and you can pick up 24/7. I have a farm stand in my garage. I have a ferment fridge in there. It's all set up. You should follow me on Instagram because I'm always posting what my latest ferments are. We have a ton of kimchi right now. Actually, I just saw somebody walk by. They just picked up, and the large bottles go fast, but that's okay. We love kimchi. So yes, so just get a hold of me. If you purchase it online, just go follow that link, and then we'll talk and chat, and just give me an approximate time that you're going to be here, and I'll just make sure it's in the farm stand. I'll confirm that with you, and then easy peasy 24/7 pickup in my back alley in the garage. It's always open. Okay, so next is the liver love type. That's for an overloaded type. So yeah, the liver is our biggest processor in the body. I'm gonna be wrapping up soon. We're almost done, guys. So yeah, so the liver love type, the overloaded type, the liver is the biggest processor. And it's the biggest organ system besides the skin. The skin processes a lot in our environment too, right? But the liver process, like literally you're watching a horror movie or an action movie. That stress, your liver has to process. So that, like somebody told me this one time, it makes sense. It's like it's a lineup of things that are waiting to go through the liver before they can enter the whole system, sort of thing. And then they go through for the detox type 2, which puts it into a kind of binds up that toxin, whatever it goes in, assimilation, goes out, and then it dumps into the colon, the gut, like we talked about. So if you have these signs, then you're probably you need some liver love. So you're nauseous, that's a big one. Sluggish digestion, hormone imbalance. The liver is the fat factory. It's the main thing is the fats. The bile helps to, it's like a solvent for the fats, right? Overindulgence, so eating too many foods, just too much sort of thing. Doesn't have to be too much fat or too much like meat, and animal meat is really hard. If you're overindulging, that's going to be hard on the liver. If you're feeling irritable and frustrated, that's definitely could be a liver issue. And then just poor fat digestion where you just don't feel like you're breaking down your fats. So that's the bitter blends I recommend. So any kind of bitter is good for the liver, right? And all of this in my bitter blends is locally foraged in Westlock County at my dad and I's farm. And nettle, thistle, yarrow, cleavers are the main herbs in there. The featured ferment, I recommend beet kvass. Beet is just great for the liver. And so I recommend that together. But you can take any of these kits. You can do whichever ferment you love. Just get your ferments in. You only need a tablespoon per meal. So you get a 14-day supply of any ferment. I'm just recommending, this is a feature that I recommend because it makes sense, and beets are just excellent support for a liver. So the goal is to support digestion, bile flow, and your liver function, obviously, with this one. Bitter actually signals the body to release stomach acid, bile, digestive enzymes. Bile breaks down fats, plus it cleans the gut. Overall, it'll help to reduce bloating, that heaviness feeling, and especially in your section, and helping to clear away sluggish, sticky, fatty winter toxins. And that's why I recommend bitters for the spring reset. But I also recommend it for any kind of liver love, gentle technique you're going to do. The next one's summer calm, the tired but wired type. So the anxiety, the burnout, the poor sleep, all these things that overwhelm. Single parent survival mode. Hello, I can relate with this. Gut knots, butterflies in your stomach, those kinds of things. Stress affects the gut. So when you're in fight or flight, you have poor digestion, like we talked about, right? So the featured herb in this one, in the summer calm type, and in the kit are the adaptogen blends. So mushrooms are in there. Dual extracted mushrooms. I dual. So what do? They're water soluble and fat soluble compounds in every herb. Mushrooms have more water soluble. So I do a decoction, which is a long process of water on a slow boil. I use my slow cooker, and I have big reishi mushrooms and chaga. And then I recommend any root herb usually has a lot of water soluble constituents. So, and then I put them into an alcohol. All of these are basically alcohol extracts, by the way, but the alcohol helps to extract the fat soluble nutrients. So rhodiola is the herb, the amazing herb. I have used it for public speaking fear. There's actually studies at the U of A that it shows like student exam anxiety drastically. Well, their anxiety went down and their comprehension went up, their grades went up from just taking rhodiola. There's actually been studies at the U of A, and there is a lot of rhodiola farms around Alberta. I used to work on one back in my 20s. And it's such an incredible herb. I've used it for so many things, and it helps people sleep. If you have insomnia, you take rhodiola or adaptogens or any kind of basically my adaptogen blend. It's in the summer calm kit throughout the day, so you can unwind at night. And that seems to work a lot with people that just can't get any results with valerian and melatonin and all these things. Holy basil is another one of my favorite herbs. So all of these really calm the nervous system, helps to tone the nervous system, the adrenal system, that endocrine system, like we talked about, the brain and the adrenals and the thyroid. So it really will help your hormones too. And stress is a hormone, cortisol, right? Featured ferments, I recommend kimchi. And any kind of mixed ferments, like just whatever ferment you like. But kimchi is really great for, it has a lot going on. Ginger is very calming as well. It is medium spice. I do use the traditional Korean chilies in there. So, but yeah, choose whatever ferment you want. If you want to calming, like even pickles would be good because dill is so calming and it's calming for the gut. So whatever makes you happy, that's the ferment. Just get your ferments in. Calm. So our goal is to calm the nervous system and support the gut-brain connection with that blend. Okay, last blend, and then we're going to wrap her up soon. The lymph flow type is the stagnant type, congested type, right? So common signs are puffiness, fluid retention, congestion, low movement. So you have sedentary lifestyle, and if you get up and you're achy, this is my type. But I'm a lymphatic type. And actually, I'm going to go into a little bit about that. Poor recovery, achy body. So it's funny with iridology. I'm blue eyes. My lighting, I realize, isn't very good in here. But anyways, I do have blue eyes. And a blue eye type, according to iridology, is called the lymphatic type. Isn't that interesting? And what you can see in blue eyes is lymphatic clouds, as they call them, congestion clouds. And I can see where in the body the lymph is stagnant. Isn't that cool? Iridology is so amazing. So being a blue eye type, yeah. And, I work on my computer a lot. Even when I was doing farmers market management, I swear to God, I was working full time and I'm on the computer. Communications, right? I'm emailing, I'm on the website, I'm, doing social media. And then one day a week during the market, I would walk around. Actually, Bountiful, when I worked there, it was 3 days a week that I'd walk around, get 15,000 steps. Anyways, but that sedentary lifestyle of, doing any kind of home-based computer business, which is so common, that can really aggravate the lymph type. So featured herbs are cleavers, red clover. Those are everywhere. Those are so wild and beautiful. Goldenrod's another one, wild and beautiful. That's everywhere up in Westlaw County. So I've collected all those. Nettle as well. It's the common ditchweed. Burdock too. And actually I collected my burdock from the River Valley in Edmonton. And it's a root and just excellent for helping to signal the lymphatic system to work smarter, not harder. Yeah. And featured ferment, pickle juice. I just recommend that flow, hydration. Cucumbers offer a lot of hydration and it's just so gentle. But again, whichever ferment, just get it in your body. And the goal is to move fluids, support fascia, support hydration, right? That's your lymphatic system. So why pickle juice? It's nature's original electrolyte. It's becoming more and more popular for electrolytes. Cucumbers are just like, it's like a structured electrolyte formula, basically. You got your minerals, your organic acids are in the pickle juice. So that helps with breaking down, meats especially, but just, stomach acids, beneficial microbes, obviously, and my probiotic pickle juice. So the traditional ferment, not the stuff you find on the shelf, although there would be some electrolytes in there. The cucumbers, right, offer that structure. And then vinegar will also offer acids in your store-bought stuff, but the probiotic pickles, that's where the microbes and the more nutritional value comes in, because you are going to get some nutrients and digestive enzymes. Supports hydration, digestion, fascia, and recovery. So I recommend pickle juice. And it's so refreshing. So refreshing. So do you have mixed results? Most people did. I feel like, like Sharon said, she has four gut types going all at once. And we do. It's just the modern day life we live in. There's a lot going on. We shouldn't be so hard on ourselves. But that's why I offer iridology assessments. So I can really zone in and see which system is showing me the most stress, sort of thing. And so we start there. So the gut type quiz, the first one that pops up should be your priority. I would just start there. Or if you want to do a mix because you're like, oh, I like these herbs and I happen to have those teas, or I'm going to go forage. And, if you have any questions about foraging, they don't eat a lot of raw herbs. Don't choke them down. Some of them are toxic in that form. You have to dry them, or like red raspberry leaf, for example, lots of oxalates that would destroy your kidneys. So just be careful when you're consuming foraged. And I can just ask me some questions, send me an email, send me a text message, or find me on a social media. I love talking herbs. But I offer, iridology assessments, and I can see in your iris which system is asking for support first. That's the beauty of iridology. I wish every naturopath did that instead of the $400 tests. Am I right? So all this is, healing's not complicated, guys. We're just using these basic allies like herbs and ferments, food, fiber, basic stuff. And this is the cover of my Nourishing Detox guide that you get with every kit. It's a PDF download, and it's just holistic health, education, empowerment. Talks about drainage before detox. What does that mean? And that's really hydration, but there's also, flow in the gut and like all the different basics. So the ABCs of detox and the core four. There's 14 detox recipes in there just to get you started and hopefully inspire some cute little easy peasy meals that you can do, or snacks. And it's very simple, not complicated. Eat real food, eat ferments, move your body, get sunshine. It's summer, manage stress. So adaptogenic blends, B vitamins, there's many things to do for that. And, I'm open. Actually, in my Nourishing Detox book, I go over each system and talk about all the different foods, even supplements. I know I recommend supplements too. Food first, though. So I think it's a great health empowerment, that little guide. Support digestion, obviously, listen to your body and trust your body. And then that messaging will help your body to just glow from the inside out. So your next steps. Okay, so we 12:14, went a little over an hour, but we are at the end here. So your next steps, guys, take that quiz I sent you. If you didn't get onto the RSVP on my website under events, it's the Summer Gutsy Glow Challenge. And when you RSVP, I send you the quiz link and explain the quiz a little bit more, basically what we just talked about in this video here. And then I send you, once you've done your quiz, you get your your main gut types. You're probably mixed. Most people are mixed types. And then you read your blueprint that I send you after you do your quiz. And then you can choose your kit, commit to 14 days with the kit, and come pick up at my farm stand 24/7. Like I said, just pre-order first so I know you're coming, and then I'll give you the address, and you can come in anytime you want. It's in my garage, easy peasy, honor system. Or if you're in Canada, I can ship, but I can't ship live ferments. I don't want to. I could, I just don't want. And they're heavy, and shipping's expensive. It's gone up like crazy. So if you got the guts, I got the goods, guys. And if you want to you want to do an iridology assessment, and you want to ask me some questions about foraging your own herbs and do it all for free, let's do that. I also have the Nourishing Detox Guide available as a download. You can just purchase that. I think it's $11. I have it on special, and I have my detox. I used to call these detox kits. They're the reset kits, guys. So these are kind of my testimonials from my spring reset. I had an amazing group, and I actually did the challenge where I was like daily emails, daily prompts, and a contest of like engagement on Facebook. I'm not doing that this time. This is like a DIY. So this is your challenge is the quiz, the blueprint, and this information, this video, which I hope it's helped you feel empowered. And we had such amazing, adoring fans, ferment fans. It's not me, it's the herbs and the ferments, right? But I just am honored to guide you all. And the last message I want to share is just slow down. You're doing fine. So start slow. Don't overwhelm yourself. And if you are, then you're probably a summer calm, summer gutsy type, right? And so, here's my little picture of my farm stand. It's in Edmonton in the Capilano Gold Bar community. And I have herbs and the ferments available, the detox kits. Go on my website. You can see everything available. The online iridology is also available. If you're like, how do you do our online iridology? Well, read the thing in my shop, online iridology. And it has step-by-step instructions on how to take the picture of your iris. And then I can go and do a reading and immediately get, a really clear gut type for you, and helped you to prioritize where to start, which herbs to start with, which ferments to start with. Because some people that actually are really sensitive and have a reactive system, I wouldn't start with water kefir, for example. That can actually make things flow a little too fast, if you know what I mean. So there's there's ferments are pretty easy, but you want to start slowly. And I've had people with food allergies that just like literally cannot even handle ferments. And that's very common with the elimination diet. If you follow that, or the gut and psychology syndrome, Dr. Natasha Campbell, the GAPS diet, she recommends not starting with the fiber-based ferments, so only the drinks. So she says pickle juice is that is your gentle first starter, unless you have really severe food allergies. And I can see in your gut if you have a very reactive gut when I look in the iris. So yeah, I'm sure, like, that's the thing. Listen to your body. I'm sure you know if you have a reactive gut. But that's what iridology is here to help. That's what these reset kits can help, because it's like you don't know it till you try it. So yeah, see how gutsy you are, how risky you are, and choose your journey. And I am honored to be a part of that journey with you, and help you understand the direction your body is gently pointing you towards. So thank you, guys. Thank you for joining me. Great info. Thank you. I'm super excited to pick up the kit. Yay. And yeah, message me for a pickup time, order online. Sounds great. And anybody else, let me know. And if you want the gut type quiz, send me an email. Go to theherbalmama.com. There's lots of contact forms in there, or just go to that event, RSVP. I'll get your email. You'll get the gut type quiz. You'll get a link for this video again, probably. And then you'll get your blueprint and just, more health, education, empowerment. All right. So you guys have a great Friday, Fermentation Friday. And if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me, theherbalmama.com. If you have any more questions, put it in the chat. But I think I am going to wrap her right up. And hopefully it doesn't rain today in Edmonton. It's supposed to, but I love the sunshine. So enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy your health journey. And I'll talk to you all later.